It's a yes and no, isn't it? It's yes and it's no, because we will surely, from a spiritual sensibility, regard people spiritually with regard to their spiritual nature, so that we will, if we're truly spiritual, we don't merely see form and we don't merely see events. We see something beyond, we see something further, we see something invisible that animates or pervades these events or these forms, these objects, including human beings. So therefore, from our viewpoint as spiritual inclined human beings, we see everything spiritual, and at the same time, you know that if you start talking spirituality to certain people, you get it in the neck, you get in trouble. You can get some violent responses to spirituality, to religion, to God talk, and all of this. And that it makes us inclined, perhaps, to separate, doesn't it? So that these people are not on their spiritual path in some way, and these ones are, and they're whatever in the middle. And in a very real way, that has some credence too, because if somebody is earthbound, couched, grounded, stabilized in the physical world, the physical material world, and that's how they walk, that's how they talk, that's their very nature, that's what they are, is difficult sometimes to see or to be able to say, well, they're on a spiritual path too, because there's nothing really apparent other than the fact they're breathing and moving that will make you think that they were like you, or that you had any spiritual commonality. So it's yes and it's no. We see it that way, of course, because we see that all souls in time will surely be liberated. We couldn't bear in the heart of compassion to think that some souls would be excluded. We couldn't tolerate it in our hearts to say, well, everyone can move through across the threshold, but not these guys, which is why we should look at it now, and we should look at the ones that are very hard to love, very hard to love. We should look at events in the world and people we come across that are very hard to, elicit our compassion, that we have feeling for that. Very hard when we separate ourselves by saying that's absolutely awful, I can't imagine that was like, or I certainly couldn't be the perpetrator, how can they do that? Because you've separated yourself, you've divided yourself and your identity from the rest of humanity. Try not to do that. Try to extend compassion to everything, everyone, all events, because ultimately they are like the shadow, ultimately they are the reflection, ultimately this play of consciousness is attractive and beautiful, and it's ugly and it's disgusting. And we discern. We discern there as we discern between people being on their spiritual path or not being on their spiritual path. If we no longer have within us a space for darkness and a space for light, but truly, you have to be very self-honest about this. If we really have eliminated the shadows, dark place inside, and any forms of bigotry and prejudice and reactive tendencies inside us, if we've eliminated self-identification, and we utterly know that We're not just Richard, Robert, or Kathy, or Turla, or Carla, and so on. We truly know that. Then we will see everybody on a spiritual path, because we will see outside of time, we will see in a sense that there is no path. We will see that everyone's already arrived. We'll see that nobody ever set out on a path. We will see that actually always, forever, we were here in this eternal state. There's no change in consciousness, the big C one. There's no change in truth. There's no change in the absolute. There's no change in God, ever. It is always, it is forever conscious.